Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praises and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Bashim Hakadash. Lebanon to the apostles, GMS and Rubel. Shalom to the faithful man, always continually doing the work of the Lord. So, Lord willing, I'm going to make this a very quick video. I got like 7% left on my phone. I need to get me damn car charger. So, Salakia for that. So, I'm going to try to make this quick before this dies. I was just watching the elders. Or Salakia, the brothers in Iowa, and the elder brother, Matafia, they was in the spirit, and he was saying, pretty much, we was all minding our business, before we was in this truth, we was in the world. A lot of us was just minding our own business, and then the Lord just out of nowhere called us. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if we for sure chosen, but we know for a fact we are called. We know for a fact we are truly the servants of the Lord. And the Lord called us to this walk of faith. You know what I'm saying? So, and that just remind me of my quick little testimony, which I mentioned that in my last video, I believe. And, I was thinking like, shit, I ain't make a video today, so fuck it. And real quick, that's, if brothers don't got topics for videos, just listen to a brother's video. And then sometimes there be multiple topics in one video. I think I made like 2 videos off this one video, if I'm not mistaken. At least I mentioned it in both videos. So just a quick little tip, I should say. If you don't got a video idea, then listen to brothers. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, going back to the main topic. But yeah, and it made me think of how it was when I first came in. Small testimony again, because my last video was a testimony video early in the faith, and this is the same thing. When I first came to truth, because I mentioned it in that video too, that pretty much, because like the elder said, we be minding our business, and the Lord would just knock you off your high horse, and then He would call you to do His work. I would never ever would imagine me doing what I'm doing right now. I'm pretty sure all brothers can say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because before this truth, I was into that plantation Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Like heavy. I thought I was gonna grow up to be either a firefighter or mainly my first thought was, or my main thought I should say, was going to be an evangelist. I wanted to go around the world, learn different languages, and teach the gospel of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. And my second thought was, which was kind of, I put that in the back burner, but I was thinking about being a firefighter. But yeah, the Lord changed that completely. You know what I'm saying? I remember the brother, what's his name, Tazama in Dallas. He said, which I know he's from Cleveland, Ohio too. But I remember he gave his little testimony. He said before he was in the truth, he was a rapper. And I know he can sing too. I heard him. I visited Dallas before, and I heard him sing. He's a pretty good singer, fit and all that. So I guess he's into music, singing and rapping, whatever. And he said he's made a song where the music video he was teaching. He was like a street preacher, and that pretty much foreshadowed, him teaching on the street. This gospel. And it's the same thing with me. Even with one more other testimony, small testimony, with Elder Uriah. He said that I believe if I'm not mistaken, he said he had a dream like when he was 5 or something like that he was going to be a pastor or a preacher, something like that. But I remember me specifically, my grandma's mother, I believe it was her. She said when I believe she died when I was a baby. She said that I pretty much she used to call me pastor. You know what I'm saying? She used to call me fat. So I was kind of like eating a lot when I was a kid. But I'm pretty skinny now, but I heard one thing she used to call me was pastor. You know what I'm saying? And that was the spirit, you know. And really, technically, I'm a pastor. You know what I'm saying? We all pastors, you know. We shepherds, you know. We under the good shepherd, Yahweh Shai. All right, but anyways, Salakia. If I'm rambling, but going back to the main topic, the main testimony I want to give is I remember when I first came into this truth. What happened was, I remember I heard the truth first from an IUIC member. Like I said, I was into that plantation Christianity, so I didn't. All the thing he was talking about was the law. So it just never really. I just kind of was just like, all right, whatever. I wanted to argue because I was into that plantation Christianity. So I was trying to argue, you know, and teach, because I thought I had the truth, you know. But my brother-in-law, you know what I'm saying, he kind of really got me into the conspiracy theories, and I was in the conspiracy, all that, you know. And then me and him was kind of like believing at the same time, and, you know, all that good shit. And then he used to live close to where we taught where I first woke up at. So I remember at this time I didn't have a phone, so he used to be with my oldest sister, and I remember he texted one of my sister's numbers. It was like, yeah, come meet me down here, because we used to hang out on High Street, whatever, just walk down the strip, you know. We used to hang out sometimes, and sometimes I used to like try to preach to people. I used to just walk up to people and try to teach them the gospel of Jesus, you know, whatever. You know, I used to go up to him like, hey, you know, Jesus is smack, ugly as hell. But anyways, he texted me and shit. He was like, yeah, come through, whatever. And I was like, all right, con. And then I was like, I remember I had a bike. And for the brothers in that's from Columbus, if you listen to this video, I used to live on 5th Avenue. That's where I woke up at. So that's not too far from High Street. Like on a bike, ain't too far. So I rode all the way down there. And then see what I'm saying? My whole mindset, I'm about to go meet up with my friend. We about to chill, we about to have fun. So I didn't have my phone, so I'm driving down there, and I'm looking. I'm trying to find them. I couldn't find them. So I went all the way down, and I turned around. I think I crossed the street, and then I just went back down and tried to see if I could find them down there. And then I couldn't find them again, but then I got distracted because I seen the Israelites. And I knew they was Israelites because of the IUIC member, because I met him at the library. He's always had he used to write scriptures on his shirt. It looked tacky as hell, but I don't know if Jake remembered that, like the early 2000s, or not early 2000s, but like the 2010s and shit like that. People used to write, like they used to like do their own writings on their shirt. It looked tacky as hell, like that little white. I don't know if Jake know what I'm talking about, but he used to write scriptures. So I remember I went up to him like, hey, you know, because I seen he got scriptures on him. And then that's when I found out about the Israelite thing. So then when I seen the brothers, I was like, okay, I know they Israelites because I heard about this. So I went over there to try to preach to them. And I thought I was going to preach the gospel to them and, you know, get the victory. But it was the opposite way around. You know, going back to what the elder was saying, you know, you think you doing your own fucking thing. And the Lord got other plans for you, you know what I'm saying? That will, you know, blow your mind. I remember at this time I wasn't cussing or nothing. And I remember when they was teaching me, they was teaching about pork and I was trying to say, you know, you can eat pork and all that, and you know, you can't cuss and all these other shit. And I remember my first crack. I don't remember every single detail how I came into the truth, like when I really started like, okay, I kind of do, but some of it is kind of blurry. But I remember my very first crack that I remember. I remember it was like they were trying to teach me and all that, and it was like they was talking about cussing, and then they start bringing out scriptures where you know you can pretty much cuss and all that. And I remember that was my very first crack. You know what I'm saying? Because they was just cutting me, and I couldn't really gainsay or resist. I was like, I remember I said it under my breath. I was like, damn. I was like, damn, y'all getting me salty. I remember I said it out loud too. If you know, I don't know, the video is still up there. But I remember I was like, damn, y'all getting me salty. But I remember I said, damn, under my breath. And that was the first crack. Because I remember at that time, I didn't cuss for grit. Because I thought, you know, if I cuss, I'm going to go to hell. And so I remember I watched, because my brother-in-law, he got me into the conspiracy theories and all these videos and shit. I remember I was in my dining room, and I was watching videos, and it was like I was seeing videos where say when I died and went to hell, and I seen people that went to hell that I was cussing. You know, that's bullshit. But I remember I was so wooed, and I was like, oh shit. And I was like, man, I'm about to stop. I remember the day, and I was like, man, I'm about to stop cussing. You know what I'm saying? I was through, man. I was, you know, thinking of the doctrine of men. But Shalakia. But anyways, going back to the main topic, you know, I remember I was getting cut, and then my brother-in-law, he came, and then, you know, he was there too, and it was a spirit. It was crazy too, because he was actually very attentive and listening, and I wasn't. I was like I was coming up against it, you know what I'm saying? And it was a spirit too, because right before, like literally right before the second before the last video that we did when I was out, the first time I was out there, the one brother, he was part of this camp. He's doing his own thing now, but I remember he said you might come into the truth, talking to my brother-in-law, but he said he pointed at me, he said no, and as soon as he said it, the video ended, and really it was the opposite way around. You know what I mean? I'm the one that came in, I start coming back, and my brother-in-law, he came back every once in a while, but I was mainly the one that came back like every week. You know what I'm saying? I remember we went home, and it was like a holiday that came up. So I believe I came in the truth like around April, so it might have been fucking Easter or whatever. I remember it was like my last time eating pork, or maybe, I don't know if I was like, I'm gonna eat pork one more time, or maybe it was like beef hot dogs. But I'm pretty sure, I ain't gonna lie, I think I was like, I'm gonna eat pork one more time, or some shit like that. Or maybe it was like beef something. I can't remember, Salakia. But I remember the time I was like, man, I'm about to stop eating pork. And then I was like, man, I remember me and him was in the kitchen. We was just eating food, and we was just talking like we about to, you know. And then eventually we came back. And then, yeah, man. But I say all that to say, Salakia, because I like testimony. So Salakia, if I'm rambling a lot, but I like testimony, so I like to like talk about testimony sometimes. But you know, but yeah, pretty much the point was, you know, I thought I was gonna go one way, but the Lord changed me to a completely whole different way. Like I said, I thought I was gonna be an evangelist preaching about Jeebus Cross, you know. But now I'm preaching about Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I would have thought, you know what I'm saying? But let me get this. This is John Salakia. John 15 and 16. It says, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you, that ye should go and preach. It's like, and ye shall go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. Right, so this is red letters. So Yahweh Shai is saying, you haven't chosen me, I have chosen you. You know, because like I said, a lot of us, you know, we thought we was going to do this, that, and the third. Some brothers was in the street, some brothers was in the military, some brothers was music industry, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But the Lord changed that, you know what I'm saying, and did something that you put you into the spirit to do something that you never would have thought that you would be doing. You know, I was a fucking Christian, bro. I truly believe that. I wasn't like, you see Christians today where they just go to church. Some Christians just go to church on holidays. Some, you know, it's bullshit. I was like dead serious about that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this to brag or nothing, because that's nothing to brag about. But I was serious about that, bro. I was teaching people. I was trying to teach people in my school. I was trying to teach people on the highways and byways. But I wasn't like standing there. I was just walking up to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Jesus, and it's corny ass shit, man. But but I was for real about that, bro. You know what I mean? And I really thought that I was gonna grow up and go around the world. I was watching TBN. That's that Christian channel. I used to watch that shit like all day, bro. I was over righteous type shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm thinking about it, because that was like the only shit I was watching. I used to go to the Christian stores. It's just embarrassing to even say. I used to go to the Christian stores. I used to buy Christian shirts and movies, and I used to watch TBN all fucking day. That's like channel 2, where it's just Christian shit all day. They used to play sermons, and they used to play movies, TV shows, all that bullshit, man. I used to before I go to school, I used to wake up in the morning, I used to watch that first. You know what I'm saying? And then, so I was serious about that shit. And I remember it was a show with this little weird ass, old ass Edomite dude. Little weird ass dude, man. He used to walk around the whole earth. He used to go like pretty much damn near all countries, and he used to carry the cross on wheels, of course. He didn't, but he used to carry a cross, and he used to teach everybody in all countries and shit. So that inspired me. And it was this other dude, I forgot his name. He used to make YouTube videos and shit. And I used to kind of take his quotes and shit, you know what I mean? Because he was like a street preacher. And that inspired me. I wanted to be an evangelist. I wanted to go out and just teach people. But hey, the Lord changed that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still doing that technically, but in a different way. That I never thought that I would have even done. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the way the Lord do it. You know what I'm saying? King David is another example. He never thought he would have been a king. He was like, man, who when King Saul was like, hey, you can marry my daughter, so and so. He was like, who am I? Who's my house? Like, you know what I mean? That's how you feel sometimes in the truth. Like, you just be thankful, man. Like, the Lord chose you. I mean, Lord willing called you. We don't know if he truly chosen yet, but we know he called, bro. And there's millions of people, there's billions of people on the earth, man. And the amount of people that's in the truth is very few, man. It's very, very few. So we are very blessed to have this truth. This is Sirach 44. I was about to say Leviticus. I'm tripping. Sirach 44. That's not the one I wanted. Salakia 47. I'm sorry. 1. And after him rose up Nathan to prophesy in the time of David, as is the fat taken away from the peace offering, so was David chosen out of the children of Israel. Right. So same thing with us, man. The Lord have chosen us out of the people of Israel, and there's innumerable numbers of Israelites on this earth, and all these people, the Lord is like, I want you to teach this word, man. So hey, it's a great honor to teach this word. It's a blessing, and especially if we get the victory and what's that, Psalms 147, I believe, we're putting the heathen in the chains. It says it's a great honor. This honor have the saints. Like, come on, man. Like, it's crazy, but hey, and we can't take that credit for ourselves. The Lord chose us. We didn't choose ourselves, But let me get one last scripture. Salakia, I kind of low key forgot what I was gonna get. What was I about to get? Salakia. Alright, fuck it. I don't remember what I was gonna get, but I thought of another one though. It's one of my favorites. 1 Peter 1 and 4, to an heritage. 3, blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us again unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Yahushua Mashiach from the dead, to an heritage incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of the Most High through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time, wherein you greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, you be in heaviness through manifold temptations. Alright, this ain't the one I want. So like, I knew that. My fault. I know it's in Peter though. Here you go. For, 2 Peter 1 and 3. So I was like, man, what was my point at? But according as his divine power have given unto us all things that pertaineth unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that have called us to glory and virtue. So the Most High have called us to glory and virtue, man, more than we can even fucking fathom. Alright? There's people out here right now that would die for the so-called glory of money. And that ain't shit. How much more us? We dying for something actually meaningful. Alright? It says, whereby are given unto us exceedingly great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. Right, so that's my main point. You know, the Lord gave us his truth, and we should be grateful because we escaping this world, you know, the lust of this world and all this other bullshit, and we can be partakers of the divine nature. You know what I'm saying? We can have this truth and get those new bodies. You know what I'm saying? And the best thing about it is the Lord, he the one that plucked us out of this world. We didn't just like, you know what? I want a new body. I want to serve the Lord. No, the Lord chose us. That's what makes it even more greater, because that's what makes it more humbling. Because it's like we thought we knew. Some of us thought we knew we was serving the Lord. Some of us thought we was being a good father or a good person and serving our country or I'm doing. But we didn't know what the fuck we was doing until the Lord finally gave us his truth, man. So it's a blessing, man. It's truly a blessing. Like Psalm 16 says, blessed be the Lord that given my soul counsel, you know. And also says that what Psalms 103, blessed be the Lord and all his benefits that saved my life from destruction, you know. Because the Lord, man, we just gotta be grateful, bro. You know, be grateful, bro. But anyways, man, that's the point. Lord willing, hopefully that was edifying. I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Hakwadash, the balance of the apostles, GMS Ruel, and so on to the faithfulness, continue doing the work of the Lord. So that I'm gonna say Shalom.